Hey, what is up, mortals? It's Welsley here, and welcome to part 3 of What If Naruto Was Evil. Just wanted to greet you guys by saying, sit back, relax, and you're in for a treat. And so we begin. Naruto could see Sasuke's intentions. Through the fireball jutsu, the young student aerial flipped. His feet would guide the wind around it to amplify and split the flame out and around himself. As it passed through, Naruto dashed towards Sasuke, grappling him by the collar, and flipping his body across Sasuke's torso, flipping him off balance and slamming him into the ground. His other hand drew his kunai and pressed it against his neck. "I don't have time for you, Sasuke." Naruto's eyes were cold and unwavering when he spoke those words to his one-sided rival. It was clear what he said about befriending him before had changed since then. He slowly stood up, placing the kunai back in the pocket where he got it from. He picked up his book off the floor and continued back to his apartment, once again studying the scroll to finish off his day. The next day, Naruto passed his exams with flying colors. He didn't care much for his classmates' opinions, but now he gets to become a genin and finally join a squad. He placed his genin headband across his forehead and smiled when he gazed into the mirror. Later that day in class, the squads were announced. There was some inner turmoil between Sasuke and Naruto when they announced they'd be on the same team with Sakura. Everyone else had already left the room, and hours has passed with no sign of a squad captain joining up at all. How late is this guy going to be? It's already been 2 hours and he hasn't shown up at all. Sakura's patience was growing thin by the second now. Meanwhile, Naruto and Sasuke sat in silence. Naruto reading the same book from before. Its contents bestowed that of the essential arts of chakra control. Every little bit of information Naruto could get his hands on, he took it. Thanks to this book, he learned how to control specific chakra points in his feet to muster up the wind to avoid Sasuke's fireball jutsu. By this time, Naruto already knew about water walking and wall walking as well. Naruto closed his book and began to walk out of class. "Hey, where do you think you're going?" Naruto stopped in his tracks and sighed. "He's late, and I'm wasting my time here, so I'm leaving." Naruto continued out the door, but Kakashi was standing right outside of the class once he opened it. The situation annoyed the blonde genin even further. He sighed and sat back down at his desk, setting the book down. Kakashi introduced himself to the frustrated trio. Sasuke continued to stare out the window. Sakura continued to nag the squad leader about his tardiness, and Naruto rested the book over his face as he leaned back and fell asleep. Kakashi took a moment to analyze his new team. Sasuke and Naruto both came off as the distance type. Not exactly the best at teamwork, but considered themselves competent. Meanwhile, Sakura was the rule follower, someone who doesn't know when to stop complaining when something doesn't go according to plan, terrible at reacting to unforeseen circumstances. Kakashi took a sigh and wrote his name on the chalkboard behind him. "Hello, my name is Kakashi-sensei, and I'll be your new squad leader from here on. But first, before we go on any missions, I would like to have you 3 take a test." Naruto slowly lifted the book off his face. This test caught his interest. Maybe it was because the squad leader mentioned something of interest now. What would this test be on? Naruto was the first to speak something outside of Sakura's constant venting of her frustrations about wasting a couple of hours. "Good question, Naruto. However, that will be answered when we reach the training site. I want you all to arrive at the training grounds and get there early in the morning. I don't tolerate tardiness." The 3 of them grew more agitated from that last comment. The trio spoke in unison. You were the one who's late today." The next morning, Naruto climbed out of bed, did a few stretches, and prepped himself breakfast. After that, he equipped himself in his usual tracksuit attire and headed off to the training grounds. On his way there, he saw Sakura and Sasuke walking together on the other side of the street. Naruto sighed. He was a bit jealous of Sasuke, always having a woman around him, and he takes it all for granted. Sakura's a pretty girl to Naruto as well. It wouldn't be too far off to say he even had a crush on her. The trio reached the training ground a little early. After sitting around for some time, the three of them collectively realized that he would pull his late card again. Once again, they were agitated. When Kakashi did finally show up, it was about the same thing that happened before. Naruto was sleeping, Sasuke minded his own business, and Sakura once again spouted her complaints towards the squad leader. The white-haired jonin cleared his throat. Today we will be doing what's called the bell test. He lifted a pair of bells from his pocket, displaying them to his students. You guys will try and collect these bells from me by the end of the day. If none of you can grab even one bell, the three of you will be sent back to the academy. Sakura raised her hand to ask a question, and Kakashi nodded, allowing her permission to speak. But sensei, there are only 2 bells. Does that mean whoever doesn't grab a bell will be sent back too? Very astute of you. Yes, it does. Kakashi stood there, waiting for someone to do something. Well, the test already started, by the way. A few shurikens were thrown in his direction, and Kakashi used substitution jutsu. He replaced himself with a simple log, and the shuriken implanted themselves into the wood. Damn, guess he's already long gone then, huh? Naruto, are you gonna help out or not? Naruto was the first to speak up after all was said and done. Naruto lifted the book off his face with a thumb and sighed. I mean, why else would I be here? Oh, I'm long gone too. Naruto's clone that laid there poofed into a cloud of smoke. The blonde was already leagues ahead of his peers. The other 2 reacted in shock and immediately began to chase after the 2 of them. Damn it, they both already had the jump on us. Meanwhile, Kakashi leaped from tree to tree. Naruto followed suit. The Nine-Tails Jinchuriki made sure to keep track of Kakashi's next moves. He can sense Kakashi's negative emotions, which allowed him to anticipate his movements easier and differentiate the real one from any potential clones. Kakashi dropped a few paper bombs. At the rate of speed both of them were going, it would be hard to dodge explosions last second. However, with Naruto's understanding of his chakra nature and almost complete mastery of chakra control, he used the wind to guide the explosive tag around the tree trunks and land on the ground. Naruto was long past the explosive tag, and this repeated several dozen times as Kakashi kept dropping explosive tags. Naruto released a ninja star from the grip of his palm and relaxed it along his fingertips. He flicked it with his thumb to spin it and released it with an aggressive swing. The ninja star flew its way at Kakashi. He simply caught it with his bare hands. However, upon doing so, the throwing star transformed into the real Naruto. The one chasing Kakashi was just a clone. The real Naruto grappled Kakashi, slamming him into the tree trunk before throwing him to the ground. Kakashi caught himself as he stood along the tree trunk beneath Naruto. Meanwhile, he only stood there and watched the tree branch he knocked Kakashi off of. Very impressive, Naruto. Though if you were brilliant enough to pull a stunt like that, why didn't you follow up? Because I got what I wanted. Say good luck to my teammates for me. Naruto whisked off through the thick tree leaves and landed back to the starting area. He picked up his book next to the wooden post and began reading it, twirling one of the bells around his finger. Meanwhile, Kakashi checked to see if one of the hanging bells was gone, and sure enough, it was. What a sly kid. Must have grabbed it when he pulled off that substitution stunt. Typically, academy students shouldn't possess that kind of skill, so I didn't see it coming. I guess I have a prodigy on my hands. A few hours passed, and the rest of Team 7 finally got back to the starting point. Naruto sat there, dangling one leg off the log post. He had a cup of ramen that he was eating while waiting for the rest of them. The book laid on the ground, closed and finished. Sakura was the odd one out, being the only one who didn't get a bell. She was punished by skipping out on lunch while the 2 boys got to eat in front of her. Kakashi left the 3 of them for the final nail in the coffin for this test. So, how'd it go for you guys? Kinda took you a while, didn't it? Sasuke rolled his eyes, averting them from his potential teammate. No thanks to you. None of your business, idiot. Fine, be like that. All I wanted to show today is that I don't need to rely on gifts to prove I can accomplish my goal. And that's precisely what I did. The blonde genin offered up his lunch to Sakura. It was apparent she was hungry. You want some? Sakura shook her head no. Why would I want to share germs with you, sicko? Naruto rolled his eyes. Shut up and eat the food. Naruto forced an egg roll between her lips using his chopsticks. She hesitated, but eventually succumbed to her hunger and ate up. Sasuke shared his food as well. Seeing her work hard back there when they were up against Kakashi told him she deserved it. Kakashi appeared in front of the three of them, letting them know all three of them passed. Even though Naruto went off on his own, he still showed that he can still support his teammates. The squad leader gave the trio a heads up on their upcoming assignment in the land hidden in the waves. It was just a simple escort mission. Naruto decided to pull out all the stops. He once again snuck back into the Hokage's office in search of more knowledge, scrolls, books, whatever can help him. My first mission. I need to play it safe. While scrounging through the endless piles of documents that sat idly in the Hokage's library, Naruto all but jumped when a voice suddenly spoke out from right behind him. I see, so it was you who snuck in here a few weeks back. It's nice to see you again, Naruto. The voice was raspy, and Naruto could tell it was the voice of an elderly man. He slowly faced towards the voice's origin. It was the Hokage himself, Hiruzen. Goosebumps rose up along Naruto's skin and sweat slid down his face. Hiruzen-sensei! Naruto bowed before the Hokage. However, Hiruzen chuckled, excusing the young man. No need to fret, Naruto. You're more than welcome here. Well, as long as no one else has seen you. Naruto shook his head no. No one's seen me. Then you're fine to look around. I'm guessing you're looking for other technique scrolls like the one you stole earlier. I can help you with that. However, I would like to see that scroll back first. And I won't be handing you anything considered forbidden either. Naruto began to calm down after hearing what Hiruzen had to say. Supposedly, he was aware of Naruto's thievery the whole time. He just chose to let it slide. Naruto was already on his way to retrieve the scroll before being ambushed by Anbu members. Naruto Uzumaki, you're hereby arrested for being in possession of a forbidden technique scroll as well as the death of Academy instructor Chunin Mizuki. If you resist, we will detain you by force. Immediately, the group of Anbu members tossed the weighted chains at the genin. They wrapped around him and pulled tight to make sure he won't escape. They threw a face covering on his head so he couldn't see where they were taking him. One of them elbowed the kid's head, knocking him unconscious for extra measure. One of the Anbu lifted their hand up to their earpiece. Yes, Lord Danzo, we captured the assailant and are on our way back to base now. He hung up his portable radio, facing the rest of his Anbu comrades. We got the clear. Not sure what the deal is, but Danzo intends to use this boy. The squad of Anbu along with Naruto disappeared without a trace that night. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in the story thus far. Hope you enjoyed it. Now there are a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, we've got a primary channel called We the Celestials. We the Celestials is what we do here already, but their content center around the crazy world and lore of My Hero Academia. So please check us out over there if you're feeling in the mood for a roller coaster of quirky content. We also have another relative to our channel, Anime Deep Dive. Anime Deep Dive goes deep into the facts and lore of a wide variety of anime. It's sure to expand your weeb knowledge for all kinds of series guaranteed. I'd also like to let you all know, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details will be in the description below. If you're perhaps interested in what we do here in We the Celestials, then I'd like to extend out an invitation to join the team. The only caveat being we accept members 16 and older to join our crew. You can find us on our Discord, which you can locate in the description below. Our Discord is an all-around fantastic place to be. Whether you're a fan or looking to join our band of misfits. All you gotta do is hit up the recruitment server and sign up for whichever category of work that fulfills your interests. We're always looking for members to join us. Well, that's it from us for today's video, so thank you all for watching and have a great day.